This week, we got EA news, we got PlayStation news, we got Microsoft news. So what are we waiting around for? We might as well just go ahead together as a people and check it out. And welcome to another sensational Sunday. I'm Mike, and this is Mike Text It Out, and I'm here to talk about the gaming news this week. There's been a lot of things going on that I want to talk about gaming related, so this week is going to be an all-you-can-eat fest of gaming related news that crosses over into the tech world and creates a vortex in which everything is swallowed and engulfed and everybody explodes into a volcano. That doesn't actually happen, but, you know, it's gaming news, but it's tech related news. Why can't we all just be friends? And the first thing I want to talk about this week is Cyberpunk 2077. So if you're not familiar, if you haven't been watching my previous videos, which you should be subscribed so that way you don't miss it. So if you're not familiar, CD Projekt Red, you know, the creator of Cyberpunk, they got hacked a few weeks ago. And as a result of that hack, basically there's going to be a delay with the second patch that was supposed to come out. So if you haven't been following the Cyberpunk drama at all, when Cyberpunk came out, it had a bunch of issues. They promised to fix those issues. It was primarily with the base PS4 and the Xbox One, but generally it just has a lot of glitches and bugs on every platform. So it got pulled from the PlayStation Store. There's a bunch of stuff going on. So they promised these two big patches at the beginning of the year that were going to fix the issues, update 1.1 and 1.2. So 1.1 has released. It added some minor fixes. It did improve performance on PS4 and Xbox One a little bit on the base models. And then 1.2 was supposed to be a more substantial update that was supposed to come out this month, but now it's been pushed back to March due to the issues with them being hacked. So if you're not familiar with that story, basically they got hacked. The source code got stolen for Cyberpunk and Witcher 3. And as a result, it's been reported that some of the employees can't access their VPN, because when you get hacked at that level, you really want to make sure that your network is locked down before you have people start accessing it again. So they're basically double checking their network, kind of fortifying everything to make sure that something like this doesn't happen again. So it makes sense why stuff they're working on is just being delayed right now, because they want to make sure that everything is good before they start putting sensitive information back on their network. And also apparently some of the employees' information was exposed in that hack as well. So it's definitely important for them to take their time to make sure that their network is secure before they let people start working on projects or access files again, or put information into the system, whether it's personal or game information. So completely understandable why they're delaying this patch, and I hope that they can get back on their feet and everything will be secure with their network and they don't run into this kind of issue again, because it really does suck. And it was something that's pretty much out of their control. Like, yeah, maybe they could have had better security, but there's only so much you can do. And like I said, hopefully they recover and everything is good and they can get back to making Cyberpunk the game that they want to make it, which is hopefully bug-free and not what it is now. But you know what I'm hoping is out of mess. This Halo TV series that has been announced to be coming to this new streaming service, Paramount Plus. And side rant for a minute. Come on, how many streaming services do we need? I'm already paying for Disney Plus, Netflix, Hulu. And Hulu and Disney Plus is pretty much the same thing now because Disney owns both of them, pretty much. So how much am I supposed to be paying for? Huh? Paramount Plus now? Come on, get it together. Anyway, the reason that it's relevant is because that new Halo series is coming to Paramount Plus. So apparently it was supposed to be out Q1 of this year, but due to COVID, they didn't finish the season on time. So now it's coming out early next year. But I'm excited about it. And I know this is not within the realm of the usual stuff that I do, and it's barely even tech or gaming, but come on. As a Halo fan who's been thirsty for this Halo series, it's been rumored for so long. They said since 2013. I remember rumors before that and being super excited about a Halo series, but now is the ideal time because these streaming services have done a really good job of taking video game and gaming media and basically making them into good shows. So I'm really excited to see what they could do with Halo on a streaming platform where they'll have the time and the budget to actually make something good. If this had come out in 2013, like when it was first rumored, apparently, like I said, I heard about it before then, but it probably would have been a mess. It would have been on network TV. There would have been a bunch of hands involved in it. It seems like, at least like on Netflix and Hulu, like these shows get a lot more attention. They have the budget and they have the time to make the show the way that they want to. That's why you have breakout hits like Stranger Things and even that Witcher show that have done really well, because it's a new outlet and it's a new way for people to be creative. So I'm really hopeful for this new Halo series. I hope it doesn't suck. Like I said, I know it's not exactly gaming or tech news, but yes, I'm a Halo fan. Yes, I'm old. I will admit that. All right, let's move on. You know, one issue you could run into with just downloading a bunch of stuff is storage. Like, what if you don't have enough storage? What if you run out of hard drive space or space on your SSD? Well, Sony should be fixing that this summer, because finally, storage upgrade ability is coming to the PlayStation 5. So if you're not familiar, the PlayStation 5 has a slot for an M.2 SSD. Now, it has to be rated at a certain speed. It has to be PCI Gen 4. I don't remember the speeds off the top of my head, but it has to be faster or at the same speed of the internal storage in order for you to use it, which is probably going to be pretty expensive. Like for a 1 terabyte, it's going to be around $200. But still, having the option to upgrade is great, because the PlayStation 5 only has like 667 gigs after, you know, formatting and all that stuff takes place. I think it's an 825 gig drive to begin with, and then it loses over 100 gigs to like system memory and all that stuff that it needs to run. But it's crucial for a system like that where you have to use internal storage. The same thing with the Xbox Series S and X. You have to use internal storage to install like current gen games. So having this available is crucial. Now, Sony still has to come out with their compatibility list, but it's rumored that the update is going to hit next summer to enable the feature. Or sorry, this summer. I don't know why I said next summer. So we'll see how that works out. It seems like a pretty easy process. I do think that people who aren't as tech savvy might have some issues trying to install an SSD or an M.2 SSD if it's your first time installing one, but we'll see how it works out. Either way, if you have a PS5, be on the lookout for that. But that's not the only reason I want to talk about the PS5 today. It's finally been unofficially, yet officially, confirmed that they're working on PlayStation VR for PS5. Now, I'm excited about it because there was a rumor, or there wasn't even a rumor, it was a kind of a statement a few months ago that made it seem like they weren't going to really do a PlayStation VR for PS5. And they were kind of like, you know, we'll see, we'll reevaluate in the future. And now they've confirmed that they're working on it. Next gen, new controllers, which is about time because the Move controllers are old and crusty. I mean, they came out in 2010. They were never really intended to be used with VR, so they definitely needed a new solution to those. Hopefully a more robust solution that's similar to like the PS5 DualSense controller. And obviously with the headset, you're going to want to have a better screen, resolution, blah, blah, blah. And hopefully it'll be faster, considering that the PS5 hardware is a lot better than the PS4. So I'm really glad that Sony's doing this, because they're the only people that make an accessible VR headset. And by that, I mean you don't have to go out and buy a PC and make sure it's spec correctly and install all these different softwares to get it to work. It's the most approachable VR solution outside of the Oculus Quest. The Oculus Quest is the most approachable. I forgot about that because it's just, you know, built-in games or whatever. But if you want something a little bit more advanced without having to connect it to a PC and go through all that stuff, PlayStation VR is pretty much the closest that you're going to get to like a PC experience. So I'm glad to see that they're going to continue to support it. Now, hopefully it's not like the PlayStation Vita, where they had a successful product at first, like with the PSP, and then the Vita wasn't immediately successful, so they kind of gave up on it and stopped doing first-party games for it. I hope it doesn't end up like that. That's why I don't trust Sony, because I bought a Vita, and then I was very disappointed when they stopped making first-party games for it, like shortly after it came out. So I'm really hoping that it's not one of those situations where if it doesn't catch fire, they give up on it. But either way, the hardware existing on the system still leaves room for third parties to make games for PlayStation VR, even if that does happen. So I'm excited to hear that they are working on something, and I'm excited to see what it ends up being. And in my final story today, the main reason for this video, the biggest story that everybody probably forgot about, was that Anthem Next got canceled. So Anthem was a game that came out in January 2019. It doesn't seem like it was that long because 2020 barely existed. But yes, January 2019, Anthem came out. A lot of people found it underwhelming. It wasn't like a horrible game. It just was like, it was just basic. I played it, like it was kind of fun, but yeah, there wasn't much there. And it was kind of like, It was like Destiny Light. Like they tried to build like their own version of Destiny, and they just lacked some of the personality. So in November of 2019, they said that they're working on this big update, like the next update, that's what they were calling it, or Destiny 2.0 basically, and it was going to take a while to make. So that was over a year ago. We didn't hear anything. People kind of forgot about it because a lot has just happened in 2020. Now they've come out and officially said that it's canceled. So BioWare was the studio behind Destiny, or sorry, BioWare was the studio behind Anthem. I'm already confusing the two. And they're also releasing like a remastered Mass Effect trilogy that's coming out soon. They're working on the next Dragon Age game, and with COVID affecting development, it was a perfect reason for them to get out of doing this update. And honestly, I just don't think that people really care enough about Anthem anymore. Not saying that they couldn't have done this update and really turned it around and brought attention back to it, but I think that they're looking at it like, why allocate resources to this when people have just lost interest in it? We might as well just go ahead and say it's officially canceled. So that's basically what happened. So the next update ain't next no more. It ain't coming. Sorry. Done data. Done deal. Anthem Next is canceled. So that's going to bring this video to a conclusion today. Let me know in the comments, how do you feel about the Anthem Next or the 2.0 update being canceled? Like, did you even care about it? Have you forgotten about it? Do you still play Anthem? Are you still waiting for the Cyberpunk 1.2 update, or for them to kind of fix the game to a point where it's mostly playable? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I will be back on Wednesday with another super cool unboxing, hopefully. I got something that's super cool, but super cheap and super magnetic. You'll see what I'm talking about. But until then, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to tell a friend, tell a coworker, like, share, and subscribe, and always do at least 2 things at